What's the difference between a notary loan signing agent and an executive closing agent? Well, stay tuned and you'll find out more. Hi, Agentistas. I'm Erica Beauvais, and I'm an executive closing agent and a real estate apartment broker here in Chicago, Illinois. And today I wanted to discuss the differences between a notary loan signing agent and an executive closing agent. Well, first, let me back up. Let me talk about the similarities between the two. Both a notary loan signing agent as well as an executive closing agent are notary publics in the state that they reside. So since I reside in the state of Illinois, I'm a commissioned notary public first and foremost. So they both have those distinctions, I would say. The second attribute that they both share is that they handle real estate transactions or real estate documentation. That means that they are assigned signings and closings to complete a real estate notarization and secure signatures from the borrower. So both deal with real estate transactions and real estate documents to obtain signatures in order for the closing or the signing to be complete. But also with my experience here in Chicago, I also deal with commercial closings, commercial real estate closings. So it could be a business that's expanding, let's say Dollar Tree. They want to add more stores in certain areas here in the Chicagoland area. So the escrow title company will send me out to closing, a business closing or a commercial closing. So I will complete that as well. So those are two similarities that both have. But the major difference between the two, that's why there is a distinction, is that one, which is the notary loan signing agent, deals exclusively or mostly with signing services. That means that they are assigned their signings through a signing agency. And a signing agency is a third party, I would call them a vendor or a contractor, similar to an employment agency, where the employment agency secures their deals with corporations, and then they hire, meaning the employment agency hires or recruits or contracts to secure the talent of people with a certain skill set in order to do the role that their client, which is the company, is requesting. So think of it like more of like a temporary agency. That's what I would consider a signing service. And with signing services, they take upwards of 75% of your fee. So a lot of times you don't know your fee, as a notary loan signing agent up front. They don't tell you, technically, you should really be getting paid $200 for this closing. They'll just tell you, this is what we're going to pay for you. So you either pay for the signing. So you'll either accept it or you don't. A lot of times they don't give you a lot of wiggle room to negotiate or you to find out what the total fee is so you can really understand it. But they take upwards of 75% of your fee. So for instance, if the total signing that they contract with through an escrow or title company can be $200. Let's say it's $200. Well, the signing agency will take 75% cut of that $200. So instead of you getting the full $200, they're actually getting, or you're actually getting $50. They're getting $150. So you're getting the difference of 75% of the 200. But the difference with an executive closing agent is I specifically, since I'm an executive closing agent here in Chicago, I negotiate and partner with escrow and title companies, and they assign me to their closings. So I retain my full fee. That's the major difference here. And on top of retaining my full fee, I really understand the closing more specifically what the real estate transaction is. So I can understand from escrow or title perspective, any encumbrances to the title, any contingencies, any issues that the real estate transaction has, so that I really can explain that to the borrower. Now, again, there's a fine line. I don't cross that line. I let the escrow or the title company handle specific questions, but I do want to make the borrower feel comfortable when I'm discussing and walking them through their closing. I'm walking them through their documents, their real estate documents in their closing. So I want to ensure that I know and I understand what their whole transaction is about. And that's why I like being an executive closing agent, because I have the working relationship with the escrow and title company to understand exactly what I'm dealing with when I go into a closing. So it's no surprises. I'm not caught off guard. It's not just a simple signing where I'm saying sign here, sign here, sign here. I really walk and I understand, and I walk the borrower through their whole documentation and what are the occurrences in their real estate transaction. So that's the major difference. But again, the two are basically similar, but I would call them levels, because of course you have to be a notary, commissioned notary public first in the state that you reside. And then second, you would get some experience in completing signings assigned to you from signing agencies. That's only normal and natural, because you want to have experience under your belt before you start approaching escrow and title companies. So that's what I would say is the major difference. So I hope that I kind of explained that thoroughly. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And also I have a course called the Book Solid System, where I teach you how to market yourself as a notary loan signing agent. But in this instance, you will be an executive closing agent, because you are directly marketing yourself and your services to escrow and title companies. So it's a marketing course. It teaches you a lot of terminology that closing and that escrow and title companies go through, and understanding the documentation. So I provide that, the glossary of terms that are common in the escrow and title industry, as well as I provide 1,000+ contacts of escrow title officers, as well as CEOs, attorneys, and presidents of escrow and title companies. So you really get their information, their contact information, their names, telephone numbers, email addresses, everything, addresses to the business. So I provide you with that as well. If you would like to look into that information, please feel free to go to AGENTISTA.com. I will also leave that in the description box in this video. And again, I will be coming to you with future videos explaining more in the industry that I've seen, and again, this is based off my experience, but I think I have a good understanding of what's going on in the industry to sort of relay that information to you, to kind of help you understand what you can expect as an executive closing agent. So I look forward to my next video, and thank you. Take care.